A Shalom, Call Allah, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rakodash, the ones and apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom to you brothers in the highways and byways, doing the work sincerely and faithfully, and continually fighting that good fight of faith, Lord, when we are all found in that number to be delivered. All right. As you see on the screen here, it says the last days. All right. Now, if you're to believe the Idumean scholars and all the other heathens that profess they know the word, if you're to believe them, they would have you believing and thinking that the last days is something that's going to affect in an adverse way all mankind, all humanity. All right. But little do they know or understand, Esau Edom represents the last days. This is it for them. This is their last hurrah. This is their last go. So when the question is asked, are we in the last days? You damn right we're in the last days. We're in the last days of Esau's rulership and his wickedness. All this shit's gonna come to an end. All right? And the last days doesn't necessarily pertain to the nation of Israel, because our iniquity is accomplished. So from that being said, there's nothing but good things on the horizon for us. We're not looking at it from the standpoint as the last days, as if there's no hope for us. Especially we have the hope for the elect. We understand that this is Esau's, this is it for him. There's no bouncing back. There's no resurrection. There's no, sustaining himself after the Third World War and him coming out of the bunkers. There's none of that shit. This is it, man. This is 2 Ezra 6 and 9. It says, for Esau is the end of the world. All right. That being said, we're in the last days of Esau Edom's rule, man. All right. These are the last days of Esau's life. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So if Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, then that means what? These last days that we're living in is a rejoious time for us, because we are the beginning of that's going to follow. And we understand when the righteous are in authority, the people are going to rejoice. So us being put in that position of coming up, up on the heels of Esau, we're going to be ruling righteousness. There's going to be happiness on the planet Earth, man. Joyfulness, plentiness. These are all the things that the world has been lacking, the earth has been lacking since Esau has been in power. These devils will have you believing that they have no clue that the last days is pertaining to a certain nation of people, man, who have been in rulership all this time. All right. Obadiah 1 and 18. It says, in the house of Jacob shall be a fire, in the house of Joseph a flame, in the house of Esau for stubble. All right. And it's evidently clear that the so-called white man is panicking right now, because he's losing his position. He's losing his status. Years past, man, to be a white man in this world, shit, you was the head honcho, man. You were the head cracker in charge. But now that power is slowly being stripped away and faded out, people don't look at Esau Edom the same anymore. They don't look at him as the great white hope. Whenever shit went down, here come Esau, with a fucking cape on, the S on his chest, or E on his chest for Edom. Those days are done, man. And it continues on to say, in the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it. All right. So the house of Esau, Edom, is going to be totally annihilated. in due time. So you have a few Edomites that understand that their reign is coming to an end. There's a few of the elite that know this. But the majority of you average everyday Joe Crackers, you don't know a goddamn thing. You have no idea that this is it for you. And that's why when we're out there on the streets teaching and speaking, we start mentioning things such as this, Edomites come up and they start laughing and smiling and, smirking like, you're right. Okay? Because they truly and sincerely believe in their heart that they will never, ever be taken out of power. And that the last days don't really pertain to them or concern them. But it is them. They are the last days. All right? This draconian lifestyle and livelihood that you have lived throughout the world is now come to an abrupt end. And nobody's afraid of you anymore. Nobody's afraid to go, chest to chest with you anymore. All right? Continuing on. Now, I was going to play this clip, a little quick clip about these Edomites, but listen to how what he says in the beginning here.
The people of the last days. We have heard many things about the end of the world.
Now, he goes on to say the people of the last days, and once again, they truly believe that the last days is something that's going and something that concerns all humanity. And this is another reason why you get this whole, we all got to come together with love and unity and peace, because they believe that the last days is something that's going to just be, damnation for every living soul on the planet. And when we make mention of the children of Israel being raised up, being brought back to, to their glory, that's something that can't be comprehended. Why? Because especially when we tell them the so-called Negro, West Indian, Puerto Rican, and the Native Americans, we tell these people that's who, is going to take the throne or take the power seat again. And they have a hard time believing that. You see? But the last days is concerning Esau, Edom, man, and their power structure. All right? And their way of life. And all the things and all the philosophies they've put out there in the world. All that is coming to an end. Now, if you want to join hand in hand with Esau and try to help him, maintain or regain his power, the Lord's going to strike you through, man. That's just the bottom line on that. This is Isaiah 34:6. It says, the sword of the Lord is filled with blood. It is made fat with fatness, and with the blood of lamb and goats, with the fat of the kidneys of rams. For the Lord has a sacrifice in Bozrah, and a great slaughter in the land of Idumea. All right? America, a.k.a. Babylon, a.k.a. the land of the Chaldees, a.k.a. Sodom and Gomorrah, a.k.a. the land of plenty, if you will. All right? A.k.a. with all the other AKAs, in Egypt, and so on and so forth. This place is done. It is finished, man. And that great slaughter is going to be by the ways of those thermonuclear missiles, those ICBM missiles. That's going to be the great slaughter over here. With the exception of the hopeful elect getting beamed up. Okay? Every living soul that's going to be in here in Babylon, aka America, Every living soul is going to perish over here. Okay? And I'll say it again. With the exception of the hopeful elect who get beamed up, every living soul will perish over here. All right? So, the things that are happening right now and how fast things are happening, it's a beautiful thing, because here we are. We've been. I'm just going to start back from 2008. The majority of the brothers who came in during that time, here we are. We heard, we've understood, and we believed, and the Lord has given us the ability to see it now. And now that we're seeing these things, these devils are panicking. And let me say this, right? You can't even mention MOTB with great substance or any substance at all. If you do, your channel's getting cut. I mean, you can say it, and if there's nothing else that's really going to trail the statement, Esau ain't really concerned. But the minute you start going into depth, into detail, now 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, you could do a whole lesson on the MOTB. You can get down and dirty and do a lesson after lesson and say it as much as you want. Nobody cared. Because back then it wasn't the time for it to be, made known to the world. So Esau really didn't care. But now that it's about to be implemented, now it's about to be something that's corresponds and links with the scriptures. They don't want you people to know this. They don't want people to know that this is exactly what's being spoken of in the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter. They don't want you to know that. Because that in itself is going to bring fear and dread upon people. All right? So that also should now trigger you Israelites out there who've been saying all types of other madness about what it is. Here you have all these theories that all the groups have. It's an embargo, it's white women, it's whatever you say. All right. Do you notice that no other group or no other, video or however you want to put it, isn't getting struck down? Why is it that when the men of Great Millstone bring this information out, videos get cut down, channels get cut down, and all of a sudden, there's this big concern, all right, about this information being put out there? Shit, hey, I thought we was just conspiracy theorists. Nobody listened to a conspiracy theorist. They're crazy. They're nut jobs, right? But lo and behold, you have, men who are now once again and continually pushing the MOTB, which is the RFID chip. Now it's being pushed, and now Esau's antennas are up. Now there's a great concern about certain men who are speaking about this. Now there's a great concern. Ask yourself why. Ask yourself, why is Esau now so adamantly trying to, derail any information that's brought out concerning this MOTB? All right. So all that being said, are we in the last days? As Esau always likes to ask the question, are we living in the last days? You damn right we are. Okay? And it's the last days of a wicked, demonic rulership. This is it. All right? This is it. There's no other turnaround. There's no other bounce back. All right? There's no more days left for Esau to truly rule as he once ruled in the past. Your end is here, your end is coming, and it's coming fast. All right, so with that, Lord willing, I'll see you brothers in another show. I say shalom for now.